gonna cash shoot boy. You can imagine man, it man have to collect them cash. Mad Cabra said that. All bad boy man, everything. But me ask you a question, rude boy. What you hear me now? Yeah, hear me. Bad boy, everything I raise. Tell me where una go do. Una not raise the price and no badness to bad boy. Everything I raise. Tell me where una go do. Una not raise the price and no badness. Price are gone up, price are shot. Stepping up, M16. Gone up, Desert Eagle. That day no blow scope. 45, the Glock and the tar up. Me tell them badness a sell no we in a whole.
Good morning, my name is Walter Smith. They called me Skeeter. I've known Scoochie Valentino Brown from a little boy, but I know him from his born. I know all his parents. Me and his parents sang together at a young age, and me and his mother went to school together. In his younger days, he was a violent little boy. Yeah, but he still used to protect the older folks like me. He was a protector of me. Well, I give myself some blame for some of the wrong that he have done in his young days and things, because I taught him how to defend himself. So we had a young man we used to call Michael back in the day, and he was like the bully of the area. And Valentino was very afraid of him. One day I told Valentino if he let this young man come play around him again, I will beat him if he don't beat the young man. And I don't know why I said it, but the young man came and he played around him again. And Valentino, well, do what he had to do. He beat the young man, he became the chief of the blocks. And from then on, he became the head of the Border Boys. Well, back in that time, it was serious, but it wasn't serious at this time. You know, but he's grown himself out of that and become an activist. You know, I was a part of his education too, because I give him some books and I told him to study those books, and once he finished in school studying those books, it will make him a better man in life. Right now he's doing a lot in this area. A lot of people look up to him, from Taylor Street. Well, I should say all over the Bahamas, a lot of people look up to him. But 100 or more young kids participating in basketball and other outgoing sports and things like that. He helps the old people in the community. And he's done a lot. And people should really look up to him, especially the politicians. They need to take pattern of him, because he needs some help. And the government even will not look in his way. Like the government have something against him because he speaks truth. And you can't blame a man or try to hurt a man if he's speaking the truth. What you need to do is jump on board with him and help him to accomplish the things for the people in the ghetto. Right now, politicians, they don't need to come in here, because they come in here, they have done, Scoochie has done more for us and what the politicians has done. In 5 years, Scoochie has done it in 2 years for the people in Grandstand. From Hay Street, Taylor Street, and Lewis Street. They have done more than what the politicians has done. And right now, God is blessing him tremendously to do more works for the people in Grandstand. We don't really need no politicians to come in here to try and, on the end of the day, because it's election time now, to come and try and throw some hand in it. We made it without them before, and I think we can make it without them now, because Scoochie has some people who are backing him, and these people are going a long way with him. The young man's with a suffering around through Hay Street and things, who don't have no jobs and things like that. The government even has been looking in this area. Even Bernard Nordich, the man who we put in. Bernard Nordich didn't even have the courage and the heart to come on the park and hold a rally and tell the people in Hay Street thanks for what they have done for him. But now, it don't make no sense him coming back around here this time around, because the people are here for him. So you could come with any type talks, and anything you want to say. We going along with what Scoochie say. Whatever Scoochie say, we going along with that. So, want you all to know that any way you can help Scoochie, to help his organization, you need to help him. He's a wonderful young man. He's done some things, but he refrained from those things. You know, whatever the devil had for bad, God turned it in for good. You know, Hugo is a gentleman I just get to know, but he is man amongst men. He's man amongst men. And he's doing a good thing in the ghetto also. And with him and Scoochie, I think we can be all right. So now if you all want to jump on ship and help Valentino to do some good works, it's now that you come and see him now. Don't come with no political talk. You need to come and talk, helping the people, not no promise. We are not going on no type promises and things like that because we've been on promises for years. I'm 62 years of age, and y'all, they had me fooled for Micah to vote. But they can't fool me no more. So, I would like to say right here that I pray that God continue to bless Hugo and Scoochie. Continue to keep them on the right track. You know, on the good they're doing, God is going to bless them tremendously. So if you could come and help us in any type of way, we'll appreciate the help. But not with no politics involved with it. You all could have a blessed day.
Yes,
in Jesus' name.
My guest today is my good friend Skeeto, who I know from a little boy. And we're going to talk about some issues that is actually plaguing the country. And I think that we, as inner city community people, I'm talking about the areas, especially, we're talking about the Mason Addition, being in Grandstand, Farm Road, all inner city communities that are actually right now being hit with all kind of distractions. And we're talking distraction as it leads to the Yes No campaign, talking about Bill 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I think right now, as a country people that is going through a serious crisis, especially with crime, which is very high, poverty, sky high, you know, cost of living, just past sky high, you know, and it's very hard now for everyday citizens right now to even survive in this country. But the topic seems to be is the yes, no, and some people say it's a government agenda, which it seems to be, and some people say, you know, it's not a church agenda. Maybe it ain't a government agenda or a church agenda. Maybe it's an agenda that normal law-abiding citizens who live in this country, who has no voice, it should be their agenda. Okay, first of all. You know, looking at all this, what you're seeing now is that you're seeing people are fighting for equal rights and justice in the country. And, you know, I don't want to get too much into it on women having equal rights as men in the country. I have no problem with women having equal rights as men in this country because I feel women has for years has equal rights as men in this country. And a good example is if you look at some of the former leaders of the country and who they're married to, their wife for 40, 35 years, some probably even 50. And I'm talking about prominent people who are the highest official in this country. And let me give you a good example. Okay, I'm talking about the late great Sir Lyndon Oscar Penland, the first Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and his wife, the now Governor General, Lady Penland. And them two are being married for over 30 plus years, besides when the late great Honorable Prime Minister passed away. But be sure to understand what I'm trying to say. For years, Lady Penland was on the side of Sir Lyndon Penland, and she was equal to him. If Sir Lyndon was to dare divorce Lady Penland, and if he had a net worth about, just say $10 million, I'd use as an illustration, what you think would happen in a court of law if he filed for a divorce from his wife? Skid, what you think?
I think she get half of the money. I think she get half of the money. I get the house and everything. So they get more than equal rights.
More than equal rights?
More than equal rights.
By evidence, because you can contrast to that.
Yeah, she get half of the money. That's definitely that's what can happen. And then if she get children, so the court can give her a home. And that means he's got to go look for another home or buy another home for himself.
All right. So I want the general public to understand what we were saying. Now we're going to take a next example. Do you think a person like, let's say, the first premier of this country, the late great Sir Roland Simonette, the father of Brent Simonette, former deputy prime minister of this country, who is actually the richest man in this country. The next example we could put to show that women had equal rights or even more equal rights in the country is this. A few years ago, I'd like to say my respects to the Simonette family for the loss of them, of the wife, and of the Simonette family, and also, to Brent Simonette and his brother, their condolences. But I'm just using that as an illustration to show you the power of great women. And Mrs. Simonette is one of the greatest women also live in the country. And when she passed away, she turned the inheritance on to Brent Simonette. So that means that Brent Simonette is the son. The wife inherit the inheritance from the father.
That's right.
And she was able, when she passed away in her will,
she passed it on to her son.
She passed it on. Who did she pass it on to?
Her son, Brent Simonette.
So, does it look like is there anything wrong with that picture there? Or is it seems that the woman has even more rights than a man?
That's right.
In this country? In
this country. Man, it's been seeing, you got the type jobs, some of the type jobs the ladies holding down and things like that.
Discrimination?
Type jobs, that can't be no discrimination. The men ain't holding down them type jobs and things like that. So if it was some kind of discrimination, I think the men will have those jobs with the ladies had. And
some of those examples we can use when you talk about ladies in high position. If there's any discrimination against a woman in this country, we're talking about like Lady Penland. She is the Governor General now, the wife of the late Sir Lyndon Oscar Penland, the first Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. She is now Governor General of this country.
She is the first woman Governor General of the country. Is she the first one?
No, she's not the first.
Okay then. Right, so what I'm saying, there wasn't no discrimination then. And it still is no discrimination now because Dame Margaret is there.
Is there. And if you look at through our old government, women has hold MP posts, Janet Bostwick.
That's right.
She hold enormous posts in government. She was discriminated against in this country, and she was holding a lot of power. If you look at the Supreme Court, we had Cleopatra Christie. She was running the justice system in the country. So there's no discrimination in women in this country. We're gonna just talk a little bit about same-sex marriage. Most of us, we live around here all our life, Skeeter, and we know people who are on that side, and we have family members who are on that side. Do we discriminate against them?
No. We treat everybody as one around here.
Have we ever attacked anyone who lived that lifestyle?
Not around here.
Not
around here. If it happened elsewhere, We don't know, but I could give account for sure around here. We treat everybody as one around here. Faggots or whatever you want to call them. We treat you as human around here. We don't look down on you. You know?
That's, and basically we look at it as that's your lifestyle, that's your business what you do, you know? So Bill 4 is a little tricky, and I let say it's a little tricky and understand why we are saying a little tricky. It's not that people, you know, the government can be right on this Bill 4, you know. You know, this could probably be the right thing to do, and the government, like Mr. Christie said, not on this watch, there's not going to be no same-sex marriage, you know. I believe he's sincere, and I believe he's telling the truth this time, you know. But you can't cry wolf. Every time you cry wolf, Mr. Christie, you know, the Honorable Prime Minister, you cried wolf, and when you cried wolf is when you went against the referendum, the gambling referendum, and you said to the Bahamian people that if we voted no against the gambling referendum, your word as the leader of our country, you know, the great Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you said this nationally, you said this on radio, this was publicized. This gave people a reason to feel that if they voice their opinion, and the leader's word is gold, the leader's word is sincere, the leader's word is true, you know, he will live up to it. You know, in contrast to that, our former leader, the Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, even though, you know, he had his way, but once he spoke his word was iron. If he gave his word to the Bahamian people he was going to do something, his word was iron. Right. Mr. Christie dropped the ball on this one because, see, like I said, it leads to leadership. And most people who live in inner city communities lost respect for the Honorable Prime Minister. And he caused it on himself and the Progressive Liberal Party because the people went to the poll on the latest referendum, Skeeter, and they said no. The majority of people said no. And to this day, we get the web shops open. They're licensed now. They're setting up all kind of new games and stuff like that. So now there's just a slap in the face to the Bahamian peoples.
Not only that, remember the first referendum, what Ingram was holding, what Ingram holding.
Right.
All of them in the House, they gone along with signing it, to go with it. But the PLP was the one to say vote no.
Yes.
So you coming back 14 years later, are you trying to tell the people to vote yes to something which you already told them to vote no to? You making yourself look bad. Okay? If you'd have carried out the first time, okay? If you'd have go along the first time and let the people help say vote yes, then you wouldn't have had this. But you say no to something, okay? Which, Scoochie, if I say no to something today, I can come back 14 years later and say yes to that. I'd be looking like a hypocrite. And that's what the people looking at now. See, the people looking at that. You bringing it back now. You bringing it back on the people. Something what you done say that's out of the show. We ain't dealing with that. No to that. But you bringing it back. The same man who say no, bringing it back to tell the people vote yes. How we look on that?
Well, like I say, all it looks like it be a bunch of ping pong ball. And we in the middle here, you understand? So we're the ping pong ball and all this. And I just want to say this to the Bahamian people, and I want you to understand. Our country is being invaded by foreign elements influencing our Bahamian brothers and sisters who hold parliament, who controls parliament, who controls the law of the Bahamas. And I just want you to know this. If we're going to say we're going to let a woman marry a man from anywhere, and once he get married to her, he becomes a Bahamian citizen, okay? And if we do the same, where the man marry a foreign woman, and then through marriage, she becomes a Bahamian citizen. That is a disadvantage for us who live here, who don't have $1,000 in the bank. Because if that was to happen, if we was to go by that, just use your imagination, someone, a Bahamian marry a person from Iraq, she or he is a multi-millionaire, and then by marriage, she becomes a Bahamian citizen. So she could come over here with resources, $50 million. She's a Bahamian citizen, she's entitled to the land. You know, she could come here and develop. She has the funds. Her money will be rewarded dollar for dollar for the United States dollar here in the country because she's now a Bahamian citizen. And now she can go there and build a hotel and then have the Bahamian people working as slaves.
That's right.
So we are at a disadvantage. You just can't give away your rights because you marry somebody. It doesn't work that way because you're destroying your own nation. You got to understand that we live in this country, and when we got put here, the natural resources now, that's the aragonite, the salt, the oil, the billions of dollars of fish industry we get here, water and oranges that can last forever. We are surrounded by water. When we got put here on this 21/7, 700 islands, 700 keys, they didn't know that they put us in the Garden of Eden. So now they want to take it away from us. And the way to take it away from us is to change the Constitution. And once we change the Constitution, it's all over for us. Because you open the door for foreigners to get married, right? To get married. They're already rich. Their money doesn't value dollar for dollar like how it values here down in this country. And once they come here, that money be transferred to dollar for dollar. And then what happens then? Then us, who only make $150, $200, we left to slave for these people again. So you call it legal slavery.
Yeah, we ain't never come out of slavery, you know. If you look at it, we ain't never come out of slavery. We just getting paid for what we do now. Yeah, but we...
I respect all human beings. If you live the lifestyle that you're living, that's your business. We all have family members who live that lifestyle. They call it transgender. I think this is something new. I mean, it's been around for a little while, but I don't understand what a transgender is, but I understand it is someone who is a male wants to become a female, and a female wants to become a male. So they don't know exactly who they are, right? But they have their own life to live. And I hear in the States now, they're suing one governor now for him not putting an extra bathroom on the men's and women's bathroom now, and they want to have a transgender bathroom. So if that means they're a new species. This is a new species of human being now, because now we have to add on a public bathroom. So that means it's going to be man and woman, then we are going to have transgender bathroom. So that's how it's going to be now. It's like we are adopting the laws of the, what you call them, the people, the disabled people. So now is this a new race of people that we now have to not discriminate against, which we are not, but we have to make provisions to make sure they're treated equally. How can we treat you equally when if you're going to put a man and female bathroom and you're going to put a transgender bathroom, then what's the sense in that? Because how am I going to explain to my child that someone went in that bathroom and he knows a male and who a male and female is? His dad is a male, his mom is a female, and he sees this every night when he goes to sleep. Now, when he or she goes to the bathroom, there's going to be a transgender bathroom, which he will have no access to unless he is a transgender, he or she is a transgender. So what am I supposed to say to my daughter or my son? What is a transgender?
These people need to get to know God, man. They should need to know that God done destroy a whole city for the same foolishness what they trying to do. They trying to turn the Bahamas into another Sodom and Gomorrah. We don't need that, okay? But in God, he ain't pleased with this. It's supposed to be a Christian nation. These type topics and things even ain't supposed to come up in the Bahamas and things like that. Okay? God ain't pleased with that. What's going on in this nation. And brother, guess what happened? If you see these bills pass and things like that, God can do something in this nation.
How do you expect people to react? Saying two men walking the road kissing, all right? Or two women walking the road kissing. right? That's their right, all right? But if we are trained to be a Christian nation where marriage is sacred, God made marriage, which is sacred. God made marriage. Man didn't make marriage. God made a reunion between man and woman. He said man should not be, should be alone. So he created woman. All right? You understand, Skeeter?
Yes, yes.
People won't be vulgar. All right? People won't live like how the Romans used to live, where they watched their wives had sex in the front of them, and they had sex right there, and orgies and stuff like that. And that's how it is. They wanted to be that way, you know. So I guess that's how. The thing is, it seems like what is wrong today is actually right, and right today is actually wrong. You understand, Skeeter? And that's a very, very serious thing, especially right now. If you look at it, Christianity is being threatened here in the country, you know, and it's coming from all sides, you know.
Not only that, it's coming from the church. You see the brothers and things in the church and things, the brothers in the church who's pastors, top pastors, are this Bahamas.
Yeah.
Voting yes. You don't know why they voting yes? Because they have a lot of those in their churches who pays those big time tithes and things like that. And they have to go along with what they say for that money to keep coming in. It's a clique, man. It's a clique. It's a clique. So guess what happened? They got to vote for this yes vote. They got to vote for this yes vote.
I mean, I know it's a clique, but I mean that the clique should be for them who in that clique, you know. Don't try and impose your clique on us, you know what I mean? Brother, we ain't care what you do. We ain't care what you do. But like you say, the great book tells you, and that's why people discredit Christ. Because he said many would come like sheep in wolf clothing. Right?
That's right.
And he's saying these things because many people would come like him, and they'd use his name, right? And deceive people, and because of that, people will run away from the truth because they're saying that you are actually a wolf. You come as a sheep, but you are actually a wolf. So what you're doing is the same thing like what the government is doing now, but you are actually a wolf in sheep clothing, so you're actually wearing a sheep's cloak over this body and using God and Jesus Christ as your way to influence people in your way, in your image.
Men will become lovers of themselves more than the lovers of God.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? See, so right now, that's what's going on. See, the Bible must be fulfilled. The Bible must be fulfilled, buddy. And I want you to notice the last days so you can see all sorts of things. Okay?
So you're to be seeing all sorts of things right now.
So you know, time is short, it ain't long. Because he said, when you see these signs and things, okay? Yeah.
So I just like to say,
You know,
this, you know, we covered some ground, yeah? But we just like to say this is some of the pastors. Not all the pastors in this country.
Yeah.
Not all.
Not all.
But let me tell you all something. He say, on that day, he ain't worrying with you.
That's right.
That means all y'all who preaching the word and actually wolf in sheep clothing, just for y'all. He speaks exactly to y'all. And we know who you are because we on the inner city communities, once we talk to you, we feel you out and we see what you're all about. We might kind of do nothing about it, but in our hearts, we know what is right from what's wrong. And let me just say this. He could pass you and say, man, you straight because you've been preaching this word and you've been doing this bidding. So he said, when he look in the book and you're not in the book, he said, you will be judged accordingly for your works.
That's right.
All right?
You come back and you also say, woe unto the pastors that lead my flocks astray.
Yeah?
Yeah, so woe unto you all pastors who out there preaching the word of God and doing a lot of foolishness, who don't have the heart of God, who only trying to use God for a selfish gain. Bible say, woe unto you who lead my flock of sheep astray. Some of you pastors have come to tell you, you can serve God with spirit and in truth and the very beauty of holiness. Because guess what happened? You might could fool your congregation, but you can't fool God. In everything you do, God say you can pay for it. If it is good or bad, you can pay for it. So get it right, man. Okay? Do what is right.
You know?
Okay? Don't go against God and getting up on Sunday and preaching this and preaching that.
Can we murder 15 and cripple up the rest? Money. Every day that we live, we no joke and pay murder case. We deal with bad boy, everything arrest. Tell me we una go do. None arrest the price and no badness to bad boy, everything arrest. Tell me we una go do. None arrest the price and no badness to because good boy collect them down payment. Murder people on consignment. Gun in a hand and we no give no statement. Raise up me price and me want every price a gun. Gone up, price a shot. Stepping up, M16. Gone up, Desert Eagle. That day no blow scope. 45, the Glock and the tar. Me tell them badness I sell, no we in a wholesale.